It's 5:32. You want to rise for the pledge? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just these ones?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you want lights?
Thank you.
Anyone?
Oh yeah, that's some
I
lights.
can't see what.
This is moon lighting.
This is reducing our carbon footprint.
Sure.
How bright it up in here.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Is that better?
What about this side?
I'm trying to save the Township.
Trying to keep everybody calm.
Everybody.
And on that thing, we'll just take a moment of silence. Okay, if you could call the roll. Sure. Supervisor Stiles? Present. Trustee Gray?
Present.
Trustee Melody?
Present.
Trustee Severs?
Present.
Trustee Marson?
Present.
All right, and absent are Highway Commissioner John Robinson and Treasurer Carmen Varela.
Assessor.
What did I say?
Treasurer.
Oh, excuse me. And I think Cynthia Rattay, Administrative Assistant, in for Tammy O'Brien, Clerk.
Thank you. So this is a Friday, it's not a normal way of doing things, so we're a little bit more relaxed. Okay, are there any public comments? We can even put out a sheet, but would the public like to make a comment? Okay, all right, fine, thank you.
Think so.
Okay, then next on the agenda is approval of a resolution 2026-0515-RES1, objecting to the proposed rezoning of parcel 1605-17-400-027-0000, that's 4 zeros, from C2 and R2 to C4, which is highway commercial. If I could have a motion?
I'll make the motion to object to the proposed rezoning of parcel 16-05-17-400-027-0000 from C2 and R2 to C4.
I will second that said motion.
Okay, so Severs, motion. Trustee Severs and Trustee Melody. Okay. Any discussion?
I'd like to say, I've been doing this for a few years, and I don't think I've ever seen a zoning move that was as drastic or severe as this. Maybe you have in the past, but like going from like an R2 to a C4, that is pretty, especially when there's residential in such close proximity.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big move. So I do like this resolution, and I like the fact that it lays out, in addition to our obvious objection to the zoning, it also lays out all of the sensitive touch points for the residents, for the community, everything, so that if the county board were to go against our objection and approve this, hopefully they take all of the rest of those points into consideration and try to mitigate those. So, you know, we're doing what we can, but ultimately the authority for this is with the county board, and at least we've got language in there, and I hope the village does too, you know, bringing up all of those points so that if they do decide, you know, like I said, they at least know what the real sensitive issues are and they help to mitigate that. So that's all I have to say.
I do want to say on this resolution, I'm asking the attorney, we sent out a copy and then we sent out another copy, and then there's still a little tweaking with the section that is the subject property and the surrounding residential area are currently served by private wells on site septic systems. That part is true. What we had questioned was we put municipal water and sewer service is presently available through, and we had said the village, because the village said that they had an annex in, but it's available through Illinois American Water. And I didn't know if the sewer, I wanted to reach out to you if you knew that. Yeah, so.
The sewer is owned by the village.
Right, or there's sewer available through Bonnie Gray. So we just want that exact wording correct, but the spirit is still there. So I did reach out to our attorney, Jason Businger, and he said that we could approve it with the amended, possible,
That we may
with the
change.
language being
Right. We're not gonna change
inserted by the
the
attorney.
gestalt of the piece, just the
Correct.
small details.
Right.
No objection to that.
So, I don't know if that needs to, why did you do, oh, yeah.
I think you're right though, the village owns the pipe going down 159th Street, or actually behind 159th. And the Bonnie Gray portion of it is just the wastewater treatment area.
Right.
So everything's going to Bonnie Gray until 2030. So in order for them to use that wastewater sewer pipe, I believe they would have to annex it.
Yeah. So that was, we just, as I said, I reached out to the village attorney just because I want the language to be, I don't want to have any,
Technical.
yes.
So I will make the motion to change the objection.
To change the objection with the attorney.
Correct.
Review.
Yes.
Okay.
Second motion.
Thank you. Okay, and then I just wanted to add one thing before the vote, just while we're on discussion. And that's, I gave you guys all this plat of zoning, and I want the public to know this, that's why okay, so, because there's residents here that, one of them, their house purchase was in 1985, and the other one just said 1987. And that land was zoned agricultural until like 1993.
Yeah, but that's.
Or something, it was,
And then it went to all R2, then
yes.
part R2, part C2, right, that's solid district.
And the part that's C2 only went in 290 feet.
Right.
So any resident, when the county zoned it C2, any resident living in that neighborhood would never, I mean, probably to have a business going only 290 feet would probably not bother the residents. But as Trustee Gray said, that is a drastic thing, and I think that really needs to be highlighted to the county as well. So I'm going to do that when I appear for the public hearing. So, other than that, does anyone else have anything to say?
I would just like to add that I think it's unfortunate of the timing that we've received this so kind of late in the stage, where it's like we almost didn't have time to formally object by the deadline, which we probably could have and should have. It's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate that, a lot of stuff rolled out kind of late to the residents as well. So, yeah.
And it is challenging sometimes when we get these zoning notices from the county, because where that zoning notice falls within our board, we meet once a month. So if it falls after our April board meeting, you don't have that time to do much else about it. Yeah.
So when do we submit this to the county?
We're going to get it there Monday morning.
Because
First thing.
their meeting is Tuesday, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So the county, I emailed all of you the staff report from the county today. And the county, in the staff report says no comment from the village, and no comment from the city of Lockport, and no comment from the village of Palmer Glen. But that doesn't mean that any of the entities were not asking questions and expressing concern. It's just nothing formal was submitted, other than I did send an email with the concerns.
Right.
So.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was going to make that point too. I'm glad you did. I don't think our objection here or Palmer Glen's today is still going to make it in there, because that staff report is dated May 19th, which is in the future, by 4 days. It's 4 days. It's 4 days in the future. So I don't think they're going to be revisiting that before that meeting to include our objections today in Homer Glen's. Yeah, you notice that also. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, how am I reading something 4 days in the future?
Well, then should we, if it's dated though, 4 days in the future, can we get this off today to them? So they have.
Yeah, well, ours will make
that.
the deadline, but we just probably won't make that packet.
Yeah.
I guess when you send in the thing, you could ask to have it included in there.
Yes.
Because it's dated May 19th, so
Because-
that led me to believe they were not going to revisit that.
And at first they told us that they wanted the comments in by May 12th, which was Tuesday. And then when I talked to the planner there, or analyst, on Friday, he said it had to be in, he was doing his report on Friday. So then I sent an email on Friday. So I was under the assumption that we could have had our documents ready by Tuesday.
I would make a note that when it's presented to the, to whoever, to the county clerk, because that really accepts us on their behalf. When it's given over to the county, I would ask that they include it in the packet, even if it's a supplement.
I don't want
Okay, I'm going to break the rules for a second. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Second. So I would say in the resolution, because of the timing, Sue, and what you described, was getting the notification, didn't get here, and it was 2 days late, that they need to consider the township, the village do what they want, but they need to consider both inputs on Monday. If they feel that it's part of the process to reissue the report with a revised revision, including those two resolutions, but if you make that part of the request, that would be fantastic, because it's unfortunate timing. I don't know why the pressure to release the report this morning. So, in all fairness to the residents of Precinct 10 and Cedar Glen, I mean, we need to make sure everybody feels this process was fair, honest and fair, and it seemed rushed. So if you can put that wording in somehow, I'm not a lawyer, but I think given, if you send this today, they should process it on Monday. They have all the opportunity in the world to post a revision to that report.
And I think the report, maybe it says May 19th because that is when the meeting date is.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, May 19th date, is that the Will County, is that their,
it's the public hearing.
yeah, but that's not the board.
It's at
It's a zone stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a recommendation. And the same thing with the next step, June 4th, public land use committee recommendation. The final decision is the Will County Board.
Right.
Could we put on our website maybe that the meeting is the 19th?
Yes.
And let our people, so if people want to go, they know where to go. I don't think everyone knows where the Will County building is, so maybe include
I know where it is. Sue, thank you.
Okay, we'll do that.
Is the meeting on the 4th, is that a morning or an evening meeting?
The 4th is at 11 o'clock. The 19th is at 9:30. Now, we could be buried in the agenda. So,
The 19th is at 5:30.
Yes.
oh, well, that's May. I'm talking about June.
Oh, the June,
The
yeah.
Will County Board meeting is 9:30 a.m.
Yeah.
We could be 10th on the agenda.
So you could be there a long time, but we'll be there.
Be patient.
I'll take the day off work.
Bring popcorn.
Charge your phone.
Charge phone and above, snacks, hand out snacks.
Okay, anything else then, under discussion?
No.
Okay, could you call the roll?
Trustee Gray,
Aye.
Trustee Morrison,
Aye.
Trustee Melody,
Aye.
Trustee Severs,
Aye.
Supervisor Spivey.
Aye.
The motion carries.
So then, after hearing all that, all I need is a motion to adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.